You're not losing your life, you're trading it, and you don't even know you're at the table. Nobody holds a gun to your head. Nobody demands your dreams in one violent moment. It's much smarter than that. The deal happens in agreements so small you forget you made them. Just this year, just this job, just until things settle, just one more month of playing it safe. And you say yes, not because you're weak. Because the transaction is designed to be invisible, Machiavelli called this the architecture of quiet control. And by the time you finish watching this, you'll see the table you've been sitting at your whole life. Here's how they buy you, not with force, with permission. They don't take your ambition. They ask you to postpone it just slightly, work a little longer, save a little more, wait for the right moment. And the right moment doesn't come, not because it doesn't exist, because waiting becomes the identity. They don't steal your curiosity, they exhaust it. Emails, notifications, deadlines. Entertainment engineered to fill every gap where a real question might form. A tired mind doesn't rebel, it scrolls. They don't destroy your self-respect. They trade it back to you in monthly payments. A title, a salary, a desk that isn't yours, a career that looks like success and feels like slow suffocation, and you take it. Because the alternative is uncertainty, and uncertainty has been sold to you as danger. This is the genius of the system Machiavelli described 500 years ago. Control is not about walls. Control is about making the cage feel like a choice. You trade time for money, that's the obvious one. But underneath, you trade something far more expensive. You trade the person you could have become, not dramatically, not in a single bad decision, in hundreds of tiny surrender moments. The conversation you didn't start, the idea you didn't pursue, the risk you calculated and then didn't take. Each one cost nothing in the moment. Each one felt reasonable, responsible, safe, but stacked together, over years, they form a life you don't recognize. A life where you make good money and feel nothing. A life where you're respected and secretly restless. A life where everything on paper works and something essential is missing. You didn't sell it, you leased it. One compromise at a time. And here's the darkest part. Nobody forced you. That's what makes it so effective. Machiavelli wrote something that sounds like it was written yesterday. The strongest prisons are the ones where the prisoner doesn't know they're locked in. Not walls, not guards. Expectations, comfort, the fear of what people might say. These are the bars. And they're placed so carefully that you mistake them for your own choices. Look at your life right now. The job you're in, did you choose it or did you slide into it? The routine you follow, is it yours? Or did the world hand it to you and you never questioned it? The dreams you had at 20, where did they go? You didn't kill them. You traded them for stability, for approval, for the quiet relief of not having to explain yourself to people who wouldn't understand. Machiavelli said, the wisest enemies don't attack you. They make you comfortable enough to stop fighting. And that's exactly what happened. Here's where it shifts. Because once you see the table, you can't unsee it. You start noticing the small moments where the trade is offered. Just stay a little longer, the bonus is coming. Don't rock the boat, you're doing fine. Everyone does it this way, who are you to do it differently? And you realize these aren't advice, these are bids. Someone is trying to buy another piece of you, another year, another dream deferred, another version of yourself that never gets to exist. The moment you see this, something changes. The fear changes sides. Suddenly, the scariest thing isn't failure. The scariest thing is waking up at 50 and realizing you negotiated away the person you were supposed to become. Not in one bad deal, in 1,000 tiny ones you barely remember making. The way out isn't dramatic. It's not quitting your job tomorrow or burning everything down. The way out is awareness. Start noticing the trade in real time. When someone offers you comfort in exchange for a piece of your future, see it for what it is. When fear whispers that the safe path is the only path, recognize the voice. It's not yours, it was installed. When you catch yourself saying later, ask yourself, later or never? Machiavelli didn't write about power so you could manipulate others. He wrote about it so you could recognize when you're being manipulated by systems, by expectations. by your own fear dressed up as reason. The antidote isn't rebellion, it's clarity. Every time you say no to a bad trade, you take something back. A piece of your time, a sliver of your ambition, a fragment of the person you were before the world convinced you to be smaller. Stack those reclamations over months. And the life you almost lost, it starts to look like yours again. If this landed, you just woke up a little more than you were 9 minutes ago. Like the video, subscribe to Neuro, because we're uncovering the hidden systems that shape your decisions, including the ones you didn't know you were making. The question to sit with tonight: what have I quietly agreed to that's costing me the person I intended to become? The answer isn't comfortable, but it's the first piece you take back.